Your home, a comfortable, safe haven for your family. And as you work so hard, they deserve the very best. The cornerstone to a comfortable home is a cosy, warm environment in the cooler months. Now there's lots of ways that people heat their homes. There's conventionally heated forced air systems that blow around a lot of stuff you really don't want to think about, especially if you suffer from asthma or hay fever. There's the undeniable beauty of an open fireplace, where 90% of the heat goes straight up the chimney, not to mention the greenhouse contribution or the safety implications for small children. Then there's the wood-burning space heater with the same greenhouse and kid-safe issues as an open fire. A lot of people are also installing split-system reverse cycle air conditioning systems, but the running costs are way too high. All of these solutions have one thing in common. None of them will heat a room evenly. One spot will be comfortable, while another area in the room will be a little too cool. Also, especially in the case of ducted air systems, they generally deliver the highest air temperatures near the ceiling. A radiant floor and panel heating system delivers the most effective corner-to-corner warmth that is available, all while being very safe. That's why hospitals around the world have relied on the passive power of radiant heating for years. A constant, reliable temperature that can be adjusted room by room for individual needs, all without fan-forced air spreading dust and contaminants from ward to ward. Now there's two radiant heating systems. One is heated by electricity and one is known as hydronic, which employs warm water. Hydronic is found in the majority of hospitals, schools and public buildings because it's about 1/3 of the cost to run and it's virtually maintenance-free. Once the hydronic system is installed, there's no more expense, unlike ducted forced air systems that require the ducts to be professionally cleaned at least once a year. You'll be surprised just how much this servicing will cost over a 10-year period. Let's take a closer look at how hydronic heating works.
A small amount of warm water, heated to around 35 degrees Celsius, is silently pumped through special tubes that are laid just below the floor, delivering even, comfortable heat where you want it. And you can control each room's temperature with the twist of a thermostat. This is very different from a traditional ducted system that blows most of the heat up to the ceiling, and there is only one set temperature for the whole house. Radiator panels are wall-mounted in rooms where floor heating is not practical, delivering the same safe, controllable, corner-to-corner comfort that you will get used to very quickly.
Okay, just how does the water in the pipes and panels stay warm? Well, Supreme Heating employs a closed-loop system that relies on a traditional high-efficiency natural gas or LPG-fired boiler as its primary heating system. Or you may want to invest in the latest solar innovation, the evacuated glass tube. Either way, each of the Supreme Heating systems deliver best practice in their field. Now, the initial cost of investing in a Supreme solar-powered hydronic system for your home is considerably more expensive than a 100% gas-fired unit, but the returns in annual energy bills, as well as your household's impact on the environment, are worth serious consideration. This revolutionary energy collection system will slash your energy bills, depending on how often you heat your home and where you live, between 40 and a staggering 90% off your current heating bills, as well as seriously reducing your home's carbon greenhouse footprint.
Let's head up to the roof and see just what makes all the difference: the evacuated tubes. Now, because these tubes are nearly 2 meters long, let's shrink one down so you can see how they work. It starts with the ultimate collection device, a double-walled vacuum tube, much like a thermos, rather than a flat panel. Your first question will be, why? What's the difference? Well, it really is quite simple. The two most important principles of high efficiency are to maximize solar heat gain and minimize heat loss. And an evacuated glass tube beats a flat panel hands down every time. Here's why. For starters, the double-walled vacuum tubes are created from borosilicate glass, which was first developed by German glassmaker Otto Schott in the late 19th century. It has a very low thermal expansion coefficient, In fact, about 1/3 that of ordinary glass. What this means is the tubes are made from a glass that can handle the stresses caused by extreme temperature differences, making them more resistant to breaking. You might be surprised to know this remarkable glass is found in almost every kitchen in Australia. It's called Pyrex.
So naturally, borosilicate is a material of choice for evacuated tube solar thermal technology due to its high strength and heat resistance. And let's face it, you're putting it on your roof and everywhere gets hail occasionally.
Now, inside the inner tube, there is also this amazing coating which absorbs heat. And because there is a vacuum between the inner and outer tube, this just about eliminates convective heat loss. And this is where all the energy from the sun starts to go to work. The sun's energy that is absorbed by the tubes is transferred to your water by a special food-grade liquid that, once heated, expands and turns to gas, much like steam from a heated kettle, and rises at extremely high temperatures to the tips of the pipes, which are inserted into a heat transfer manifold located on your roof. As the water in the manifold is heated, the gas in the tube cools and returns to a liquid, to start its journey up the tube again once the sun has done its job and turned it back to heated gas. Now, flat panel solar collectors can produce a similar heat output to evacuated tube collectors, but generally only during warm, still, sunny conditions, and the sun has to be at 90 degrees, directly above the panel, for 100% efficiency. Whereas an evacuated tube collector is round, it doesn't need to be at right angles to the sun to deliver 100% efficiency. In fact, when averaged over an entire year, evacuated tube collectors can be up to 80% more efficient than flat plate panel collectors. Well, that's basically how a heat pipe collector works. Your home's hot water supply is pumped through the manifold, absorbing the heat from the collectors. The heated water is then stored in a super-insulated storage tank ready for use around your home.
Oh, there are two small pumps that circulate the water between the collectors and the hot water tank that are incredibly quiet and only draw 22 watts each. The pump that circulates the water from the tank to the solar collectors automatically switches itself on via a solar controller when the water in the collector is hotter than the water in the tank. The other pump supplies a hydronic system and will automatically turn on or off depending on heating demands from the room thermostat inside the house. Naturally, there is a backup on-demand booster system for those colder days in the middle of winter. Having said that, an evacuated glass tube panel will pick up solar energy from sunrise till sunset, even on cold, overcast winter days. You will be surprised just how little boost assistance the system will need.
Okay, let's recap on a few facts. The double-walled vacuum tube, combined with the heat-absorbing inner treatment, maximizes heat collection and minimizes heat loss. Because of its design, the cylindrically constructed evacuated glass tube allows optimum solar radiation collection, from sun up to sun down. A flat plate panel system is different. It is only truly effective when the sun is right over the top of the collector, depending on the installation site around midday.
Quite simply, a Supreme Heating solar hydronic system employing evacuated tube technology will deliver a beautifully warm home and help you do your bit for the environment. Whether you decide to install solar or a 100% gas-heated hydronic system, track your energy bills. Either way, you will be stunned at the difference.
It doesn't dry your skin out, but my wife loves it because the gas ducted heating dries all the girls' skins out, and they complain about that. And you tend to turn ducted heating off at night because there's no point if you're in bed. With this you don't. This is the second home Supreme have done for us, and I highly recommend them. They're very, very, very professional, what they do, and they come in, and they get out, and they're gone, and nothing's ever gone wrong. And the first one they did for us, we had for 13 years, and I don't think we had one hiccup with it. I'd recommend Supreme because the price was very competitive, the service was great, the people who dealt with were really good, so I wouldn't bother anybody else. I mean, I just recommend and say, please go and get a quote from somewhere else. And I think what you'll find will be a nice surprise because it's not cheap. And if they can make it reasonably priced, there's no other way to heat your house.